Welcome to Optimal Timelines. My name is Sean, and welcome to your November 2022 Tarotscope readings, special Eclipse edition. Now, we're right in the middle of eclipse season. The first partial solar eclipse happened October 25th, 2022, and we're right in the middle of that, and the next eclipse will be a complete lunar eclipse on November 8th. Now, if you're regular to this channel, you know that I use the North Node to read your tarot. And that is because the North Node is recognized in astrology to be your soul path, your North Star. And the eclipses happen on the nodes, and they're very transformational. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at what you're most learning and experiencing during this eclipse period, which will last not only a few months prior to the eclipse, but about 6 months after the eclipse. So let's get into the readings. I'm going to connect to the energies now. I call upon my spirit guides and guardians and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see this reading, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay, so this is going to be your monthly Tarotscope reading for November 2022. Special eclipse edition for everybody with their North Node in Cancer and or the 4th house. Okay, so this is my Eclipse Spread, and I'll explain the positions here. These two cards here are what you're learning and experiencing during this eclipse period, because the eclipses are about transformation, because the eclipses happen on the nodes, the North Node and the South Node, and so they're very transformational. And what you're learning here, you have the 10 of Cups reversed, and you've got the Knight of Wands, and the card that's supporting it is the reversed Star. So what's going on here is you've experienced a conflict many times in your life between, like, it could be like family and work, emotions over logic. It's like this push pull. We're talking about the whole, like, Cancer Capricorn axis. And what you're learning right now is that it's about the balancing of that. And one of the things that's going to happen here is you're going to experience that possibly avenues that you've taken and roads you've went down aren't maybe fulfilling you the way that you thought they would, or they're not fulfilling you as much anymore. So there could be this whole thing of, like, it's like not being fulfilled in different aspects of your life. But remember, for you, this is about this card. Okay, the 10 of Cups. For North Nodes in Cancer, it's about emotions, it's about family, it's about family connection, but really being able to be like vulnerable. You're moving away from the tough, hard, strict Capricorn energies. Okay, you have that naturally. Most of you are naturally tough and resilient people, but now it's about becoming comfortable with emotions and, like, being vulnerable. And I feel like that's what is really going on, that you're going to be this month and during this eclipse period really kind of grappling with that whole situation of like, logic over emotions. And the cards up here, this is your point of transformation, the King of Cups, and where I see it going if the energies don't change, if nothing changes, which is the Three of Cups, okay? Where your point of transformation is going to be, and it's really interesting because there are a couple other north nodes that have a similar energy going on this month, which is about learning to balance the energies of Capricorn, which is, structure, which is responsibility, which is resilience, toughness, with the tender side of Cancer, which is emotions, emotional intelligence, family, family connection, emotional connection. And the key for you is to realize that your power is going to come from developing your emotions and your emotional intelligence. Like, it's almost like you're think of it like, this is where I think that most of you are headed with this. When you finally realize that emotions just aren't for, not that you would think this, okay, but this is like the extreme area of Capricorn. I don't have time to be emotional. I don't have time for this. It's like, most in the world, a lot of times emotions are seen as a weakness, okay? But what you're learning is that it actually can enhance and give you, complete you as a person. And it's almost like a superpower. And so that's what the King of Cups is about, okay? And again, the kings and queens are not gender specific. So, any gender could get a queen or a female, okay? But the masculine and feminine energies are expressed slightly differently through the queen and the king. And what this is that you can still be in your power and you can still be successful and also be comfortable with emotions, also being able to be vulnerable at times, developing that side, okay? And I think now this is your point of transformation. You're going to like start to realize this. And I feel like even too, a lot of you are going to start seeing examples around you of people that have this power. I'll give you a quick example. Because you have a south node, if you're watching this, you have a south node in Capricorn or the 10th house. So let's look at a CEO of a big, powerful company, okay? A CEO. And let's say you have the type of a CEO who is just very stern and strict and by the book. We're going to say strict Capricorn energies, like you need to be responsible and, just really, really like hard and structured. We're talking like these really, hard Saturnian energies. But then you have like, there's a new breed of CEOs. CEOs that are connected to their workers, connected to their workforce, connected to the company, and they understand that people are not machines and that people have have emotions and they're human. And you see these CEOs, it could be like everything they have a fun or work atmosphere for their workers, or they have creative workplaces. Okay, you get what I'm saying, right? So that's what this is. And it doesn't, that CEO who is successful in this company, who is connected emotionally to their own emotional intelligence and thus to others, they're not any less powerful. In fact, they're more powerful than just someone. It's easy to just be strict and stern, like, I'm the boss, do this, do that. I'm not saying that that's what any of you do. I'm saying like we're talking about extreme polarities of Capricorn Cancer. But we can kind of be that way in our life. Like we could actually run our own selves. Like we could, a lot of times what you see is with the North Node in Cancer, because of the Capricorn South Node, you could see people who like deny themselves pleasure or deny themselves, the ability to relax or whatever, And so that's what this is saying. This is saying your point of transformation is you're realizing that you can be actually more effective in your life and more powerful in your life with this, okay? And where I see it going is I see that most of you are going to get this lesson, even if it's on a small scale, even if it's not a permanent thing, even if it's just a glimpse of something. But I feel like most of you are going to get this, and it's going to be through dealing with other people emotionally. Okay, you're going to it's going to come through, this breakthrough is going to come through other people. And I feel like it is going to happen. If nothing else changes, this is where I believe it's going to go. Now, your two advice cards are the Two of Pentacles, okay, and then you've got the 10 of Pentacles reversed. Now, one of the things that is happening here is that during this period, there could be the challenge that's going on with, like it could be money, finances, investments, property, anything that, pentacles represent, okay, which are things of value. And what could cause some issues is, juggling things around, and maybe things are not as stable right now for you. And so yeah, let's face it. I mean, we're all going through things right now financially. The world is, the economies of the world are being challenged right now. So we're all feeling it. And I feel like during this period, what it could be challenging for you is like balancing this out, because what could happen is you could, when challenges happen in the practical sense, you could go to that Capricorn side of like, okay, forget, I'm going to go back into this, I'm all business now, and kind of forget about the emotional side. And I do see with the reverse 10 of Pentacles also that there could be some issues, with like, family finances or something to that effect, or just like, inflation or something. And that is kind of the challenge here. That's what could be something you just want to realize. I feel like you'll get through it and understand this. But remember that for you, what's going to end up happening is that when you realize that you're tapping into that Cancer North Node and that more emotional side and developing emotional intelligence, you're going to find that the answers for issues that come up in the practical world are going to come like a lot easier. But just be aware, this is your advice, is that as challenges come up in a very practical way, whether it be through work, finances, or family situations, don't beware not to like let yourself fall back into like old patterns, old like Capricorn South Node patterns or 10th house patterns. And so, but yeah, I feel like for most of you, you're going to start to see this, and you're going to start to recognize like moving forward with this like newfound power. And just think of it as like, in a very practical way, acquiring a new skill, But I want you to keep the vision of that, like those two CEOs in mind. And what you're striving for is the one who is much more progressive and forward thinking, and takes into account human emotions in the equation of things, as opposed to, discounting, the human side of people's emotional being. So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you'd like a personal reading, there'll be a link in the description box below. But yeah, thanks again. Make it a great eclipse season, and we will see you on some more videos. Many blessings.